Good morning. Welcome to the Millionaire Book Club. My name is Prairie Hunter. Side effects of tapping in with me every single morning do include personal development, mindset transformations, paradigm shifts, and the ability to think your way to success. So I'm super excited, geeked up, happy today. It's my birthday, my solar return. So drop me something that you're grateful for in the chat. I'm super grateful for you, super grateful for this day, super grateful to be alive, super grateful for my parents today, especially my mom. Super grateful for my children, for my spouse, for my family, for my friends. I'm super grateful for love. I'm super grateful for light. I'm just super grateful for everything. I'm super excited about what the future holds for me. I'm super excited to be walking into this 31st year with so much wisdom, so much divine guidance and knowledge. I'm just happy. I'm happy. I'm so grateful for the people that's here sharing this day with me today. I appreciate you so much. And I'm just super blessed. Like, let me know what y'all grateful for today. I'm just grateful to be able to have the Millionaire Book Club. Y'all don't understand. Y'all don't understand. Gratitude all the way around. So drop me something that you're grateful for. I'm gonna drink my tea, sips tea. If this your first time tapping in with me, please subscribe to my YouTube at iCoachWealth. I do plan to go back to Instagram Live with our next book. We are ending our 8th book today. How divine, right? Divine time. We end in our 8th book today. We won't have a call tomorrow, but Monday morning we'll start fresh with Jay Shetty's Think Like a Monk. And this is our 9th book. So super excited about that. Blowing my mind, my own mind. So let me get the daily word while y'all typing in what y'all are grateful for. This good day, this good morning. Let's see what the word of the day is for my birthday. I didn't peek and look either. Belong. Ooh, I like it. Belong. Okay, so today is Thursday, June 24th, and the word of the day is belong. Authentic living is my key to belonging. Among the billions of people on this planet, there is only one me. There is not another soul on earth who can make the unique contributions I am here to make. The most wonderful paradox is that the more I choose authenticity, the truer I am to being myself. The more easily I find myself with people and in situations that show me how much I truly belong. Embracing and celebrating all that sets me apart helps me see how each of us is here to do what no other can. Each one of us is a part of the full spectrum of creation, and we all belong. Even as I celebrate differences, I look beyond them to see the divinity that joins us as members of one family to which we all belong. So we, who are many, are one body in Christ, and individually we are members one of another. And that's Romans 12:5. I love that. Okay, belong. I belong here, you belong here. Everything that's happening right now in life is divine right action and divine right time. Um, yes, that was perfect for my birthday. Thank you, universe. Barb said, I'm so grateful for God. I'm always grateful for my husband, my family, my grandchildren, and my great grandchildren. My children, I'm so grateful that it's like what I speak out, I'm checking them off. So I am so grateful this morning. Okay, she manifesting. I'm bubbling over with that gratitude. It's just like it's coming out of my pores. So I am so grateful. And Queen, I am grateful for you, for your obedience. I am grateful. Thank you. Thank you so much. That was so sweet. That was sweet, Barb. Thanks. Crystal said, grateful for God. He is amazing. Thank you for my family and friends. I am so excited for this journey. I still have to do more work, but it's coming. Yes, Crystal, we all have to do more work. This journey is not a journey that you do for, like, I've been full on this journey now seriously for a year, right? Last year on my birthday was like when I was like, okay, I know that this is what I want to do. I want to make these changes to my life. I want to elevate my mind. And so now a whole year later, and I still got a whole lot of work to do as well. And that's okay because I feel so free. Like where I've come from is just phenomenal. So it's exciting to keep doing the work, to see how much we can grow, to keep becoming better. And I think it'll never stop because the more we learn, the more we'll desire, and that'll give us more opportunity to just grow and grow and grow. And we are limitless. So it's not no limits to how tall we can grow, right? It's no limits. The only limits we have are the ones we place upon ourselves. So we're not placing those limits. Not this year, not no year, right? Now that we know our power, I'm going to pull us a card today. Pull us a card for my YouTube people. Tell me what you're grateful for. If you go back and watch this live if you go back and watch this replay, tell me what you're grateful for. Wish me happy birthday. Show me some love. Let me know you here. I see somebody here. A couple people
happy
here.
Birthday!
Thank you, baby. This man just came out here his jaws and screamed at y'all. What a happy birthday for me, okay? Happy birthday. This is so funny. I love this day. Oh, let's use these two. These are my cards. These are my cords. Okay. So we have a don't make assumptions today. Don't make assumptions. Communicate with clarity. Okay. Communicate with clarity. This little person look a little weird. That's okay. Communicate with others as clearly as you can to avoid misunderstandings, sadness, and drama. If all humans would communicate with impeccability of the word, all of our relationships would change. There would be no wars, no violence, no misunderstandings. Okay. What's this one? This is a don't take anything personally. Okay. Release self-judgment. Release self-judgment. Even the opinions you have about yourself are not necessarily true. Therefore, you don't need to take whatever you hear in your own mind personally. Thank you, Keisha. How you doing, Queen? Thank you so much. What a good surprise. What a good birthday gift. You're beautiful, gracing me with your beautiful presence. Thank you, Queen. So grateful. I receive it. I receive it. Yes, Barb. I receive it too, right? Because we can change the mental concepts that we have daily if we want to, because we elevating, right? So even what you think about yourself is not necessarily true. And you think you know yourself the best, right? Nobody know you better than you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right. I think it's time. To start the read now. I should go pop me a bottle, but I'm waiting, y'all. We're going to pop bottles on our 1 year, which is going to be January 4th. We're going to pop us some bottles just to celebrate, right? I'm excited. All right. So finishing the read today. Last 2 chapters of Awakened Imagination. Gratitude. That's it. This attitude of gratitude. It starts on page 178. If I say something that resonates with you, go ahead and drop an MOC in the Oh, Cynthia. Hi, Queen. Thank you for popping in. Thank you. Thank you. I'm grateful. How are you? I miss you. I love your real estate thing you got going on. Congratulations. That's so exciting. Keep doing awesome things, Queen. Thank you. Thank you. I'm definitely keep going. I'm going to keep going. I don't see no limits, no obstacles, no barriers. Thank you. All right, so we on page 178, y'all. I might keep getting excited, whoever keep popping up on me, right? Excited to see my people, excited to see my family, but I'm going to get through this read. So if I say something that resonates with you, please go ahead and drop a MOC in the chat. MOC means moment of clarity. It's my way to connect with you guys, to know that you're taking value from this read, that you are learning something, that you are having like those light bulb moments. You having those shifts in your paradigm, right? It's making you think about things a little differently. So creation is finished. I am the beginning and the end. There is nothing to come that has not been and is. Ecclesiastes 3:15. Blake saw all possible human situations as already made states. He saw every aspect, every plot and drama as already worked out as mere possibilities, as long as we are not in them, but as overpowering realities when we are in them. He described these states as sculptures of losses halls. Distinguish, therefore, states from individuals in those states. States change, but individual identities never change nor cease. The imagination is not a state, said Blake. It is the human existence itself. Affection or love becomes a state divided from imagination. Just how important this is to remember is almost impossible to say. But the moment the individual realizes this for the first time is the most momentous in his life. And to be encouraged to feel this is the highest form of encouragement it is possible to give. This truth is common to all men, but the consciousness of it, and much more, the self-consciousness of it, is another matter. The day I realized this great truth, that everything in my world is a manifestation of the mental activity which goes on within me, and that the conditions and circumstances of my life only reflect the state of consciousness with which I am fused, is the most momentous in my life. But the experience that brought me to this certainty is so remote from ordinary existence, I have long hesitated to tell it. For my reason, refused to admit the conclusions to which the experiences impelled me. Nevertheless, this experience revealed to me that I am supreme within the circle of my own state of consciousness, and that it is the state with which I am identified that determines what I experience. Okay? It is the state with which I am identified that determines what I experience. Therefore, it should be shared with all. For to know this is to become free from the world's greatest tyranny, the belief in a second cause. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. Matthew 5:8. Thank you, big cousin. I love you. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. Blessings, blessings, blessings. Crystal said, I seen that Nano is reading the Esther Hicks book. Isn't this alignment good? I see it now. Yes, he is. Action it is given. And you know what? That was actually the very first book that we read in book club. That book changed my life too. Action it is given. It's such a good book. Such a good book. Okay. Blessed are they whose imagination has been so purged of the beliefs in second causes. They know that imagination is all, and all is imagination. One day, I quietly slipped from my apartment in New York City into some remote yesteryear's countryside. As I entered the dining room of a large inn, I became fully conscious. I knew that my physical body was immobilized on my bed back in New York City. Yet, here I was, as awake and as conscious as I have ever been. I intuitively knew that if I could stop the activity of my mind, everything before me would freeze. No sooner was the thought born than the urge to try it possessed me. I felt my head tighten, then thicken to a stillness. My attention concentrated into a crystal clear focus, and the waitress walking walked not. And I looked through the window, and the leaves falling fell not. And the family of 4 eating ate not. And they lifting the food lifted it not. Then my attention relaxed. The tightness eased. And of a sudden, all moved onward in their course. The leaves fell, the waitress walked, and the family ate. Then I understood Blake's vision of the sculptures of Los's halls. I sent you to reap that wherein you bestowed no labor. John 4:35. Creation is finished. I am the beginning and the end. There is nothing to come that has not been and is. Ecclesiastes 3:15. The world of creation is finished and its original is within us. The word of creation is finished and its original is within us. We saw it before we set forth and have since been trying to remember it and to activate sections of it. Okay, so what do we mean set forth? We saw it before we set forth. I'm thinking before we were born. We saw it before we came into this portal, right? This realm, this planet. We saw it before we set forth and have since been trying to remember it and to activate sections of it, right? So we're doing pretty good at remembering who we are, where we come from, what our power is, and we're doing pretty well at activating sections of that, right? Learning all of these things that help us manifest, help us live life happily and easily and freely, right? And limitlessly. There are infinite views of it. Our task is to get the right view and by determined direction of our attention, make it pass in procession before the inner eye. If we assemble the right sequence and experience it in imagination until it has the tone of reality, then we consciously create circumstances. This inner procession is the activity of imagination that must be consciously directed. We, by a series of mental transformations, become aware of increasing portions of that which already is, and by matching our own mental activity to that portion of creation which we desire to experience, we activate it, resurrect it, and give it life. Thank you, cuz. I appreciate you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Queen. Good morning, Bobby. Welcome, King. Okay. This experience of mine not only shows the world as a manifestation of the mental activity of the individual observer, but it also reveals our course of time as jumps of attention between eternal moments. Okay? This experience of mine not only shows the world as a manifestation of the mental activity of the individual observer, but it also reveals our course of time as jumps of attention between eternal moments. An infinite abyss separates any two moments of ours. We, by the movements of our attention, give life to the sculptures of Los's halls. Think of the world as containing an infinite number of states of consciousness from which it could be viewed. Think of these states as rooms or mansions in the house of God. And like the rooms of any house, they are fixed relative to one another. But think of yourself, the real self, the imaginative you, as the living, moving occupant of God's house. Each room contains some of Los's sculptures with infinite plots and dramas and situations already worked out, but not activated. Okay, so I hope y'all are getting the mental picture here that he painting, right? So imagine a mansion, right? God's house, and you occupy every single room, right? And you're doing this through your imagination. Okay, you occupy every single room. Everything is there and available to you. You just have to activate it. Okay. Each room contains some of Los's sculptures with infinite plots and dramas and situations already worked out, but not activated. They are activated as soon as human imagination enters and fuses with them. Each represents certain mental and emotional activities. To enter a state, man must consent to the ideas and feelings which it represents. These states represent an infinite number of possible mental transformations which man can experience. To move into another state or mansion necessitates a change of beliefs. All that you could ever desire is already present and only waits to be matched by your beliefs. But it must be matched, for that is the necessary condition by which alone it can be activated and objectified. Matching the beliefs of a state is the seeking that finds, the knocking to which is opened, the asking that receives. Go in and possess the land. The moment man matches the beliefs of any state he fuses with, it and this union results in the activation and projection of its plots, its plans, its dramas, and situations. Okay. So anytime that you take the time consistently to go inside your mind, right? To go inside the garden of your mind, to build your imagination, to exercise it, to work with it, to enhance it, right? You are activating this power within you to pull things forth, right? To manifest. It becomes the individual's home from which he views the world, right? So our mind, we don't have to view this reality and accept it, especially if it's not something that we want. We can create a new reality in our mind, right? It becomes the individual's home from which he views the world. It is his workshop, right? Let's look at this thing like our workshop. It is his workshop. And if he is observant, he will see outer reality shaping itself upon the model of his imagination. Right? If he is observant, I think you need to be observant, and you also need to be patient. You need to have your vibrations and your frequencies and your energies on a certain level to even be able to see the blessings that's happening, right? Because sometimes they happen in small, right? But a lot of small add up, right? So it might not take shape exactly how you want it, exactly as fast as you want it. But if you can be calm, if you can be patient, if you can be happy and maintain a certain vibration and frequency throughout the process, then everything comes to pass really, really easily. Okay. It is his workshop, and if he is observant, he will see outer reality shaping itself upon the model of his imagination. Right? You can't be distracted with anger. You can't be distracted with stress and worry. Those things, if you housing those type of energies and frequencies, you'll probably miss your blessing every single time. You'll never recognize a little blessing because you're not open, right? You mad. That type of stuff is not going to flow easily. At least it might flow, but it's not going to be easily. Okay. We want this life to be as easy as possible, right? The way God intended it to be for us, not hard. It is for this purpose of training us in image making that we were made subject to the limitations of the senses and clothed in bodies of flesh. Okay? It is the awakening of the imagination, the returning of his son that our Father waits for. Right? That our Father waits for. So all we got to do is turn on our minds, turn the key to our imagination. That it's not something for children only, right? It's not child's play at all. It's life play, right? It's the key to life, actually, right now. It's the key to life, to be able to to escape reality, right? We have that power. And mix with the right energies and frequencies. Some strong power. MOC for the queen, okay? A lot of y'all, that's what's up. Okay? So true. Yes, Keish. Super, super true. It's beautiful. Okay. It is the awakening of the imagination, the returning of his son that our Father waits for. The creature was made subject to vanity, not willingly, but by reason of him who subjected it. Romans 8:20. But the victory of the Son, the return of the prodigal, assures us that the creature shall be delivered from the bondage of corruption into the glorious liberty of the sons of God. Romans 8:21. We were subjected to this biological experience because no one can know of imagination who has not been subjected to the vanities and limitations of the flesh. Y'all catch this. Imagine now, speak it into existence. Yes. Okay, listen. We were subjected, right? Why did we get, if we children of God, why did we get put here, right? Some people feel stuck here. Why did we have to come here? Why did we have to have this experience? We were subjected to this biological experience because no one can know of imagination who has not been subjected to the vanities and limitations of the flesh, who has not taken his share of sonship and gone prodigal, who has not experimented and tasted this cup of experience, right? So you know how you gotta go through a certain thing to appreciate it, right? When things are given to you, you don't really appreciate them as much. So we have to go through this. We have to, number one, believe our imagination. We have to be willing to block out the sensory information, right? The sensory information is all around us, but we have to be strong enough to block that out and tap into our imagination side, co-create with God. That's when we in our best co-creative state. That is the co-creative state, right? Praying, yes, it's good. Going into that imagination is better. It's better. You're taking it a step further, right? Where was I at? Okay. And confusion will continue until man awakes and a fundamentally imaginative view of life has been reestablished and acknowledged as basic. Okay? So that's what we're doing right now. We reprogrammed. We unlearning and we relearning things, right? We are learning that imagination is not just child's play. Imagination is something that we should be consistently doing every single day. Just like we feed ourselves food every day, we feel like our bodies need that. We drink water. We need to go into imagination. We need to set that time aside to connect with ourselves in that way, to connect with our spirit, to connect with the divine, to connect with source. Right? We need to go create. We need to go create free of all of the limitations that surround us in the sensory world, right? We need to just go into our mind and do it freely, do it effortlessly, do it boundlessly. I should preach the unsearchable riches of Christ and make all men see what is the fellowship of the mystery, which from the beginning of the world has been hid in God, who created all things by Jesus Christ. Ephesians 3:9. Good morning, Shannon. Welcome, Queen. Bear in mind that Christ in you is your imagination. Okay? Bear in mind that Christ in you is your imagination. All right? So if you've been feeling distant from God, God is within you, right? You can go into your mind and start building that relationship with God. As the appearance of our world is determined by the particular state with which we are fused, so may we determine our fate as individuals by fusing our imaginations with ideals we seek to realize. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. On the distinction between our states of consciousness depends the distinction between the circumstances and conditions of our lives. Okay? On the distinction between our states of consciousness depends the distinction between the circumstances and conditions of our lives. So based on what we're experiencing, right, it's probably going to determine our state of consciousness. And everybody's will be different because everybody has different life experience. And ye shall cry out in that day because of your king, which ye shall have chosen you. And the Lord will not hear you in that day. Nevertheless, the people refused to obey the voice of Samuel. And they said, Nay, but we will have a king over us. 1 Samuel 8:18-19. Choose wisely the state that you will serve. Okay. All states are lifeless until imagination fuses with them. All states are lifeless until imagination fuses with them. All things, when they are admitted, are made manifest by the light. For everything that is made manifest is light. That's Ephesians 5:13. All things, when they are admitted, are made manifest by the light. So when you accept something mentally, you give power to it, right? You give it, you light it up. You give it that energy that it needs to exist in your reality. And that works good or bad, right? That works negative or positive. That's why it's so major to be self-disciplined enough, self-aware enough of the things that you're doing, right? The power that you do hold. You have to be aware, because if you're not, you just out here speaking a lot of things, right? Not even knowing that it could be damaging you if you're not monitoring it or you're not mindful. Ye are the light of the world, Matthew 5:14, by which those ideas to which you have consented are made manifest. Hold fast to your ideal. Nothing can take it from you but your imagination. Don't think of your ideal, think from it, right? We learned that in one of these chapters. Don't think of the ideal, think from the ideal, right? If it was already done, not something that we got to progress towards, it's already done. It is only the ideals. It is only the ideals from which you think that are ever realized. It is only the ideals from which you think that are ever realized. Man lives not by bread alone, but by every word that proceeds out of the mouth of God. Matthew 4:4. Out of the mouth of God, yourself, right? Man lives not by bread alone, but by every word that proceeds out of the mouth of God. And the mouth of God is the mind of man. Okay? The mouth of God is the mind of man. And Mosi for the queen. Yes. So we don't just, you have to add that other side. We are good. Like I just said, we feed our bodies, right? We make sure that we feel like we have to do that, right? But you also have to take care of your mental, right? Go into your imagination, build your life, co-create with the source. This is how we co-create with source. Become a drinker and an eater of the ideals you wish to realize. Have a set, definite aim, or your mind will wander. And wandering, it eats every negative suggestion, right? Become a drinker and an eater of the ideals you wish to realize. Have a set, definite aim of your mind, or your mind will wander. And wandering, it eats every negative suggestion. Okay? So you have to positively pour into yourself, because we already predisposed to negativity. This whole society is negative, right? You turn on the TV, you're going to get some negativity poured into you. You go on one of these social media platforms, you see people venting negatively, right? And so that's negative pouring into you. So you have to be the one that says, no, I know that my God needs some positivity, right? Let me listen to the affirmation. Let me read something and learn something new. You know what I'm saying? Let me blast the music and get my vibrations high, right? If you live right mentally, everything else will be right. If you agree with that, drop a 111 in the chat. If you live right mentally, everything else will be right. I wish I could drop me a 111 because I definitely believe that. If you live right mentally, everything else will be right. By a change of mental diet, you can alter the course of observed events. By a change of mental diet, you can alter the course of observed events. But unless there is a change of mental diet, your personal history remains the same. Okay? Unless there is a change of mental diet, your personal history remains the same. Right? So that is why you can move, you can run, you can switch partners. If you don't change the inside, if you don't clean up you, nothing changes. Right? You have to have a change of mental diet, a change of consciousness basically, right? That's what a paradigm shift is. You shift in the way you think, the way you've been programmed. And that's what we do here, right? That's what we do in a book club. Paradigm shifts, okay? Every single day, I learn something new. Okay, but unless there is a change of mental diet, your personal history remains the same. You illuminate or darken your life by the ideals to which you consent, right? So the things you allow, the things you think, the things you speak, you illuminate or darken your life by the ideas to which you consent. Nothing is more important to you than the ideas on which you feed. Nothing is more important to you than the ideas on which you feed, right? And you feed on the ideas from which you think. That's why one of these chapters a couple days ago was talking about inner self-talk, the way we talk to ourselves, right? The way we talk to ourselves and the things that we thinking when we're not speaking, the things we thinking about ourselves ultimately reflect our consciousness, our state of consciousness, the way we really feel. We can put on a front outwardly, right? You can dress it up. You can dress the outside up. You can't fake it on the inside. You can't. You can't do it. Nothing is more important to you than the ideas on which you feed, and you feed on the ideas from which you think. If you find the world unchanged, it is a sure sign that you are wanting infidelity to the new mental diet which you neglect in order to condemn your environment. You are in need of a new and sustained attitude, right? You just got to make a choice that I want different. I want happiness. I want peace, right? I want different. Only you can make that choice. You can be anything you please if you will make the conception habitual, right? Repetitive. For any idea which excludes all others from the field of attention discharges in action. The ideas and moods to which you constantly return define the state with which you are fused. Okay, listen to that. The ideas and moods to which you constantly return define the state with which you are fused. So are you always angry or are you always happy, right? That'll let you know what you fused with. Are you always rushing or are you always at peace? That'll let you know what you are fused with, right? Are you always stressed or are you always worry-free? That'll let you know what, and it's okay, right? You can't heal what you hide. So allow those questions, like seriously ask yourself those questions and answer them honestly. Because once you answer them, now you have a basis to work from. You have somewhere to start. I'm here, but I want to be here, right? I'm right here, but I know I need to be here. Not even that I want to be. I need to be here to live life happily, to manifest, to have my heaven on earth, right? To not be stuck in a box waiting for something. I don't know what people are waiting for. We have everything we need right here inside. It's not no dollar amount that you need to get to this level of clarity. It's nothing. You just need You need to be wanting that information, right? You need to seek it. You have to be seeking this type of elevation, or else it goes over your head. If you're not seeking change, if you're not seeking growth, self-mastery, this stuff goes over your head because you don't want to believe it. You don't want to give power to it because now it forces you to have to do better, right? You're like, oh no, this is no, that's not right. The way I was taught is the right way because it allows me to be bare minimum, right? It doesn't challenge me to rise, right? To grow. It just allows me to be who I am and exist. But we want to do more than just simply exist, right? I do. I want to do more than simply exist, and I know y'all do too. Okay, so the ideas and moods to which you constantly return define the state with which you are fused. Therefore, train yourself to occupy more frequently the feeling of your wish fulfilled. This is creative magic. It is the way to work toward fusion with the desired state. If you would assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled more frequently, you will be master of your fate. But unfortunately, you shut out your assumption for all but the occasional hour. Okay? If you would assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled more frequently, you would be master of your fate. Crystal say, I want to live positively. Me too, right? Because I went from negative to positive and it's all good, right? Biggie said that. He must have started learning something about the spiritual side of success, like we are. Okay. Practice making real to yourself the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Practice making real to yourself the feeling of the wish fulfilled, whatever that is for you, right? Everybody's wish is different. Everybody's definition of success, everybody's goal is different. But whatever that is for you, practice making it real every single day. Go into your mind and go there and be happy about it and be joyful about it and tell your family and bring your friends, right? All in your imagination, though. That's helping you get into the feeling of the wish fulfilled, and the feeling is the secret. After you have assumed the feeling of the wish fulfilled, do not close the experience as you would a book, but carry it around like a fragrant odor. Instead of being completely forgotten, let it remain in the atmosphere, communicating its influence automatically to your actions and reactions. A mood often repeated gains a momentum that is hard to break or check. And that goes for negative or positive, right? So if you have a lot of negative habits and tendencies and moods, they're hard to break, right? And I'm pretty sure you do them habitually, right? A mood often repeated gains a momentum that is hard to break or check. So be careful of the feelings you entertain. Habitual moods reveal the state with which you are fused, right? And the state with which you are fused determines the things you'll be able to manifest, the things you'll be able to attract. It is always possible to pass from thinking of the end you desire to realize to thinking from the end. But the crucial matter is thinking from the end. For thinking from means unification or fusion with the idea. Whereas in thinking of the end, there is always subject and object. The thinking individual and the thing thought. Right? It's a separation. We don't want a separation. We want a fusion. We want this thing to be fused together. It's not two, it's one. You must imagine yourself into the state of your wish fulfilled and your love for that state. And in so doing, live and think from it and know more of it. You pass from thinking of to thinking from by centering your imagination in the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Okay? So that's chapter 7. And we got one more chapter, and that's chapter 8. And this is literally like 2 pages. So, okay, the I am says, I am happy and thankful for all the material things that I have. Yes, I am. So, yeah, this is literally like 2 pages. So, we'll get right through this. And the last chapter of the 8th book, chapter 8, 8th book, last chapter is the apple of God's eye. What think ye of the Christ, whose son is he? Matthew 22:42. When this question is asked of you, let your answer be, Christ is my imagination, right? So we not just praying to a God that we don't know who it is or where he is or do it really exist. We not questioning, right? You know, it settles that questioning, right? Christ is my imagination. And though I see not, yet all things put under him. Hebrews 2:8, right? Yet I know that I am Mary, from whom sooner or later he shall be born, and eventually do all things through Christ. The birth of Christ is the awakening of the inner or second man. It is becoming conscious of the mental activity within oneself, which activity continues whether we are conscious of it or not, right? So we've created whatever you have right now, you created it, right? Whatever job you have, you wasn't born working that job, you created it. You thought about it. You said, this would be a good fit for me. Let me do what I need to do to make this come to pass, right? So what did you do? You went ahead, you applied, you got all dressed up for the interview, you practiced some practice questions before, right? You did things, you set yourself up for greatness. Do the same thing with this discipline, right? Set yourself up to manifest, right? Do it every single day. Go into your imagination. Develop those routines. Okay. So the birth of Christ is the awakening of the inner or second man. It is becoming conscious of the mental activity within oneself, which activity continues whether we are conscious of it or not. The birth of Christ does not bring any person from a distance or make anything to be that was not there before, right? Does not make anything to be that was not there before. It is the unveiling of the Son of God and man. The Lord cometh in clouds is the prophet's description of the pulsating rings of golden liquid light on the head of him in whom he awakes. Okay? The Lord cometh in clouds is the prophet's description of the pulsating rings of golden liquid light on the head of him in whom he awakes. The coming is from within and not from without, as Christ is in us. Okay? The coming is from within and not from without, as Christ is in us. This great mystery, God was manifest in the flesh, begins with Advent, and it is appropriate that the cleansing of the temple, which temples ye are, 1 Corinthians 3:17, stands in the forefront of the Christian mysteries. The kingdom of heaven is within you, right? And these is all quotes from the Bible. That's Luke 17:21. The kingdom of heaven is within you. It's just being explained in a totally different way, right? A totally more digestible way. It's not somebody saying it's right or wrong. This is what you have to do, right? But this is an option that we have. All people have it. And you can either choose it or you cannot choose it, right? You can choose light or you can choose darkness. You can choose easy or you can choose struggle, right? This is more in alignment with easy, right? Way more in alignment with easy. Advent is unveiling the mystery of your being. If you will practice the art of revision by a life lived according to the wise, imaginative use of your inner speech and inner actions, in confidence that by the conscious use of the power that worketh in us, Christ will awake in you. Okay? If you will believe it, trust it, act upon it, Christ will awake in you. This is Advent. Great is the mystery, God was manifest in the flesh. 1 Timothy 3:16. From Advent on, he that toucheth you toucheth the apple of God's eye. Zechariah 2:8. Okay. Woo, 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 woo. So many great things to celebrate. Okay. Celebrating the ending of our 8th book, The Power of Awareness, right? With a bonus book that was included that I didn't even know called Awakened Imagination. Done with that. If you took value from that, drop me a 333 in the chat. And for my people who was here this whole book, right? Let me know what stuck with you the most about this book. What stuck with you the most? What stuck with me the most was the clarity of it all, right? It, like, this book, when I first opened it, when I first received it, I started reading it a little bit and I was like, ooh, I think I warned y'all. I was like, this might be a little bit much for us to understand. But they break it down so well. I love that the chapters are so short. Like, you can literally just flip this book and get a good lesson, right? I love the topics that they taught on: consciousness, power of assumption, desire, attention, attitude, preparing your face, your space, the effortless way, right? I feel like we got so many gems from this book. And the biggest takeaway is to use your imagination. Like the Power of the Subconscious Mind that we read by Joseph Murphy, that taught us about the power that we did have within us, right? We don't use our subconscious mind that much. We wasn't taught how to, right? People probably don't understand it, but it works. It's within us for a reason. We have it for a reason. Every single piece that we have on our body was there for a reason, right? And so now we know about the subconscious mind. How do we put it to work? Tapping into the imagination every single night before you go to bed, getting yourself in that space where you almost sleepy, but you're not asleep, right? But you completely still, you're not moving. Your mind is free, it's clear, right? And then going to where you want to be. They also said in this book, something that I learned that I've started practicing is at night also, while you're in bed, go ahead and backtrack your day, right? This is just like some mental exercises to strengthen your mind, strengthen your vision. Ultimately, it helps strengthen vision. Go back and backtrack your day from the last thing you did to the first thing you did. So the last thing you would be doing is getting into bed. And then what did you do before that? And before that, all the way up until you got up in the morning, right? And let me tell y'all, this is something hard to do because, like I said, this is why you have to do it habitually every single day, because you have to build up a certain tolerance, I feel like, because at this point I go to sleep a lot. Like we was talking about that, right? When you sitting there trying to do this, you get yourself in that nice little sleepy state. By the time you know it, it's morning time outside. Like, what did I even do what I was supposed to do? But you did. Trust me, whatever intention that you had behind doing it, your subconscious played that out for you, right? When your conscious mind fell asleep and went about his business, your conscious mind said, oh, this is my time to shine, right? This is my time to bring her or his realities to the forefront, right? To fruition, to pull forth the things that they want, right? And doing what can be done on the unseen end. We know what we can do on the seen side. It's a lot of things that we can do, but it's also forces working on our behalf unseen, right? And you have to believe in that. You have to believe in your ancestors, right? You don't think all of the people that didn't walk this earth, that left people here, they're not looking out for them. They're not watching over them. They're not rooting for them, right? And when you start tapping into your imagination, you start putting yourself in a space where you can start connecting with them, right? You can connect with them. Yes, MOC for sure. You can connect. And it's beautiful. It's beautiful to know that you're not alone ever. It's beautiful to know that when you start walking in your purpose and your power, you're doing it for so many more people than just yourself, right? And that's what they say when they say it's bigger than us, it's deeper than us, it's bigger than that. It's so much bigger than what we think. And we all just here to play a little, like we all got a role in this puzzle, right? We all are significant pieces, and we all have to know that we are children of God, know that we were put here for a reason. We have a purpose. And that purpose was not to work until we die. That purpose was not to just be like a robot, right? I feel like, the way they set the system up, they control every aspect, every part of your life. And you got to be willing to say, you know what? I want my control. I want to know what I like, what moves me, what I should be doing with myself, not what somebody is telling me I should do. In every aspect of life, you getting told what to do by somebody. You giving your power away. Take your power back, right? When you were a kid in school, the teacher got the power. Even as a child, the parents have the power, right? When you go to work for somebody, the boss has the power. When do we ever step into our power? When do we ever step into our greatness? Right? When do we ever realize that we are co-creators, that nobody is superior or inferior, right? We all the same. We all equal. We all have a mind that we can put to use, right? And when you know that you have the power of your mind, you're not really worried about nothing. It's nothing to worry about, right? It's not no monetary value that you can worry about. It's nothing to really worry about, because you can go in and fix whatever's going wrong, right? And for us, it's going to take some time. It's not like I'm 31 this year, right? Some people older than that. By now, if we would have been taught this way from birth, imagine how powerful and how quickly we would be able to do this stuff, right? It would be quick. But because we just now learning, we're remembering. Actually, we're not just learning anything. We just remembering, right? Nothing happens by coincidence, chance, or luck. God didn't put this information in our face for nothing. God put it in our face so we could eat it, right? We could feed our mind, and we could remember, and we could change, and we could grow, right? And we could live life more happily, more abundantly, more freely, with more fulfillment, right? More fulfillment, not just existing, not just being victim of circumstances, not just accepting what life has to offer us, but getting the best out of the offer, designing the offer, right? We design the offer that life gives us. We don't just come here and get a life. We create the life, okay? That's the biggest thing. We don't just come here to get a life. We create the life if we so choose to, right? So we can either create it in a good way or a bad way. And all of it is choice, right? And we the only ones that have that power of choice, right? The only species, the human race. There's a lot of different species out here, but the human race is the only one that got that free will. And so be responsible with it. Use it wisely, right? Use it appropriately. Barb said, I'm so glad that I have learned, and I am continuing to learn more about how to use the power of my imagination. Yes. Thank you, Queen. Thank you. Yes. Me too. And it's only going to get better, right? Our next book, our 9th book, is Think Like a Monk. We getting there, right? We thinking like monks now. By the time we read this, we're going to be real at peace, right? I'm super excited to read this book. Okay. When you think like a monk, you'll understand how to overcome negativity, how to stop overthinking, why comparison kills love, how to use your fear, why you can't find happiness by looking for it, how to learn from everyone you meet, why you are not your thoughts, how to find your purpose if you feel like you don't have a purpose, or you don't know how to find your purpose or what it is, and why kindness is crucial to success, right? And we already know that. We already know why kindness is crucial. Kindness is crucial because the energy that we are given is the energy we are receiving back to us, right? So that's why it's crucial. Because if you want success, if you want happiness, if you want these things and you want them in a balanced way, it's only one energy that you can give, right? You can't do both. You can't do both. Thank you, Barb. I appreciate you. Barb said, happy birthday, Queen. Again, you enjoy your 3-day weekend going out of town and just have an awesome, awesome, awesome time as you travel. Love you, Queen, and see you next week. Queen, I love you so much. I thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for the wishes. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the light. Thank you for the energy exchange and the positivity. I love y'all. And Barb, I might as well just wrap this up right now. So listen, I am your sister in love. I am your sister in light. Protect y'all energy today. Protect y'all peace today. Take a shot for me today, okay? Take a shot for me today. Tag me in that shot. Have a glass of wine for me today. Tag me in that wine. Tag me in that post too. Hit an L for me today. Do whatever you got to do for me today, but do it in the spirit of P, okay? In the spirit of me. I love y'all so much. I appreciate y'all so much, and I will see y'all Monday morning. Have a good day. All right, y'all. So, comment on this if you hear. Thank you as well. I'm not forgetting my YouTube people. I definitely appreciate you. I'm grateful. Thank you for being here, and I definitely see you Monday morning.